Today, we're going to be looking over a player that many consider the best recruit from the state of Nebraska, Cornhusker defensive back commit Caleb Benning. And we'll look over his junior and senior year films and decipher between the good, the bad, but most importantly, the stuff that we are super excited to see for the next 4 to 5 years in this black shirt defense. So without further ado, if you like the content, please hit the like button on the video. It really helps me out, along with subscribing to the channel if you have not already. If you don't want to miss out on any more Nebraska offseason content, we've had 35 plus videos in the new year talking about Husker football, and we're only getting started. Nobody on Husker YouTube is doing it like us, so please subscribe to not miss out on anything more. But let's get into Caleb Benning. All right, we're going to start off with his first 2 weeks of his senior season. I have not seen these particular clips yet. I'm very familiar with Caleb Benning. Again, one of the best players we've seen from the state of Nebraska in a long time. I've announced a lot of his games. Announced his state title game this year when he played Millard South. That was the game of the year, announced that one. So I'm very familiar with his play, but I've not seen these yet, so I'm excited to dig in. So they're on the kick return. A guy who's elusive, kick returns, and does punt returns for Westside High School. And then, again, look at that speed, man. Just like his dad, and we will see us note that a couple of times throughout his career, son of Damon Benning, stand out for Nebraska in the 90s. Great job to get that open field tackle. And one thing you're going to see by Caleb Benning throughout his film is the football IQ. Not only does he have great speed, great awareness, but he has that football IQ to just make a play. And they're on that punt return. Nice job picking him up off the hop. And they're at that safety spot. Goes up, gets an easy pick, hand-eye coordination, follows the ball in the air, and then sometimes the defensive line just does it for you, man. Oh my goodness. We're going to have to give that one a second look here. Again, watch number one over the field. Roaming there at safety. Hospital pass, and oh my goodness, he makes him pay. Lowers the shoulder. They're at wide receiver now. Nice little double move, cuts to the outside. Beautiful ball to track that one down. And Caleb Benning's a player who is a top 5 receiver in state. And that's not even his best position. Of course, he's going to play safety for the Cornhuskers. That tells you how great of a player he is. And a lot of times, when you're playing Class A football, you do not play both ways nowadays. The fact that he's doing so regularly tells you how good of a player he is. Getting there at wide receiver once again. A little crosser. Nice jog and great hands. Little spin move, break a tackle, keep those legs churning. Once again there at safety, again, great tackle. And I expect Caleb Benning to be a free safety for Nebraska, but he's played both for Westside. That safety duo there last year with him and Teddy Rizak, who's a Notre Dame commit, man, that was lethal. But he's a guy who, again, has great ball instincts, but can also make a guy pay and lay the boom. Okay, nice speed, nice burst once again. I'll tell you this, Westside's offense, man, super fun to watch. A lot of great play concepts. I mean, they get the ball to their best players. You can see it already in this film. The other punt return. Again, watch the eyes, man. Good vision. And yeah, just gets wrapped up. Oh, continues to go. Man, look at that. I talked about his legs churning. He just drug a dude about 5-10 yards on the field. And there they get him involved. Nice. Or excuse me, that was Jamez Ross on the carry. That was a Caleb Benning block on the outside. We'll get that second look. Yeah, look at that. Just pancakes a man at the top of your screen. Again, I talk about this all the time in my film reviews. Husker fans love to see that from their wide receivers, from their defensive backs, the ability to go out and lay down a guy. Little swing screen. Get a nice quick cut. Cuts it back in. Good vision. trying to make something happen. Low gain there. All right, so we'll go into some of his other film from his senior year. All right, let's get into some more clips. This game was from Miller North, and let's start it off. Again, they're at that safety spot. Terrible camera work, but nice job by Caleb Benning. Again, to read and react. He got beat originally on this play. Makes a great job to track that ball down, get a hand up there, OBJ style. Swat that one. Man, I just love what I'm seeing when it comes to Caleb Benning in the run department, the ability to make an open field tackle. Matt Rule loves that from his defensive backs. Tony White loves that. That's a huge trait. And oh my goodness, while I was talking, Caleb Benning, and get another great play in the air. You can watch him at that safety spot, reads the play to perfection, and goes up and swats it away. Awesome footwork to go up and pick that ball away from Daniel Kalen. I know some Nebraska fans might not like that, but we'll go back to. Watch the footwork, watch the eyes. This is something you want to see from your safeties. Again, great footwork, eyes right back to the quarterback, goes up, snags it, high points that football. Again, he's a guy who definitely, again, if there's a 50-50 ball thrown up to him at that free safety spot, he has that wide receiver ability. He's not your traditional defensive back. Will Anderson in that quarterback for Bellevue West. And again, nice open field tackle on the quarterback. Man, I'm loving this. Again, the vision, he does a great job. I talked about this earlier. Great football IQ, has a way to just find the football, get to him, make a tackle, make a play. He has a knack for it. That's why he's one of the best players in the state, if not the best player in the state. Same deal there. Read and react, open field tackle. And Caleb Benning's a guy that throughout his career, one second. Look at that. That's ridiculous. But as I was saying, Caleb Benning's a guy that throughout his career, I didn't understand why Nebraska didn't lock him down sooner. Again, he was being recruited by some other regional schools. But for a while, again, it didn't look like Nebraska had a committable offer on the table. Then, of course, we saw that Nebraska, he committed Nebraska late in the process. And I didn't really understand that. Caleb Benning, one of the best players in the state, this should have been a guy Matt Rule locked down early on. So I'm, again, not sure what happened in that situation. But again, this guy might be a stud. Another nice open field tackle. Had a little bit of trouble there. Again, went low. Nice quick cut and open field, man. All right. So that was some more highlights from his senior year. Now I want to get to his state championship performance from his junior year against Gretna. All right, this is from 2022 state title game against Gretna, and I remember this one well. Man, he balled out against the best talent in the entire state when the lights were the most bright. So let's get into it. And I remember he was a little bit banged up his junior year of high school and then came back for the last game of the year and, again, was phenomenal. So right off the bat, again, you see a pick. His just football IQ, his ball instincts are as good as I've seen in high school Nebraska football. Again, they're at that safety spot, dropping back into zone coverage. Look at the eyes. To backtrack and get back to that football, 2 feet in bounds as well, that's a difficult play. And he made it look easy. So man coverage, again, jumps that one for the second time. Great run after catch as well. Almost takes to the crib. Man, again, it does not get much better than this. For him to look at that, high point that football. Jump the little out route in man coverage. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So now at wide receiver. A nice block in open field to set up for his quarterback, Anthony Rizak. We've seen a couple blocking highlights through his film already. We'll go back to this one. Hold on. Yeah, just stumbles, get back to that football, gets under it though, man. Great play by Rizak to step up in the pocket and dart it to his man, Caleb. One of these days we might have to make a video about Anthony Rizak because he's one of those dudes that a lot of people who follow Nebraska high school football, they wanted the Cornhuskers to offer him. There's a lot of people who honestly think he might even be better than Daniel Kalen. So one of these days I might have to dive into his film. But he is going to Notre Dame as a walk-on to join his brother. Nice play again. The hand-eye coordination to stop your body completely and go back to the football. It's not a great football by Anthony Rizak. Again, just a quick little slant. Football's thrown behind him. Gets two hands on it. Again, we've seen a good mix of offensive and defensive highlights, and that's what you'd expect. But I've been just super impressed with what we've seen in the secondary. And hopefully there's a couple more of those in this highlight reel. Again, seeing the wide receiver clips is nice, but that's not the position he's going to be playing for the rest of his career. So, nice ball by Reeves that goes up high points. Yup. And that's a trait that every single player involved in the secondary, involved even in wide receiver, the receiver core, is you want to go up and high point that football. When there's a lob thrown up, go up and get it, man. All right, so that was his state championship film. Unfortunately, I don't have his film from this year, but that was impressive enough. So let's get into my takes and opinions. All right, that was Caleb Benning. Let's get into the pros. Off the gate, yes, he is the best recruit from the state of Nebraska in this 2024 cycle. And again, there's a lot of good players in state. We talk about a guy like Carter Nelson, Daniel Kalen, Isaac McMorris, Davon Hall. And I'm not discrediting any of them. They're all phenomenal players who had phenomenal careers. But Caleb Benning is the cream of the crop. Nobody has done what he did in his career as a West Side Warrior. One of the better safeties we've seen in the last 10 years, period, from Nebraska. So that's right off the gate, man. This film confirmed it. That was a speculation for a long time. And yes, he is the best in the state of Nebraska. Now, as for the stuff he does well, I mean, where do we begin? He's a guy who has great ball vision, just has a knack for finding the football, getting it up in the air, again, has that receiver hands, can go high point it. I love his open field tackling. That was something that I was a little bit concerned about. Did he have the ability to make a play in open field? Yes, he does. As for when the ball is in his hands, if he's a guy who we want to put on punt returns or kick returns, he has that shifty nature to him. He can run a legit 4.4 speed. So all of that really impressive. As for the cons, there's not much to it. Very productive player. I will say the fact he is a little bit undersized for the safety spot. I think maybe Nebraska, that was what was holding him up a little bit on him. That should not be a reason though. He is a straight gamer. I always talk about production. I love when players have a good ceiling, but when they don't have production to back it up in high school, it's really not a good sign. But Caleb Benning has both a good ceiling and has had production at the highest level in all of Class A Nebraska high school sports. So really impressive stuff by Caleb Benning. He will not be an early enrollee. He's playing basketball right now for the Warriors, so expect him to get on campus around June or July. But that really shouldn't be a concern. He's a smart kid, and I expect him to potentially even make an impact his true freshman year. So really impressive film. This is a guy that I honestly think should be bumped up to a low 4-star. That's how good of a prospect he is and how underlooked he was in the recruiting process. So let me know what you think about Caleb Benning down below. Were you impressed by his film, as was I? Anything else you have about Husker recruiting? But as always, folks, please hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. And I'll see you in the next one. Go Big Red and go Matt Rule.